If you don't have a TheraBand and you still want to up the ante a little, a belt, just like what you might wear around your waist, and you would just put it on the smallest buckle and have it up over the knees when we get to use it. But let's preset the TheraBand if you have one of these. Legs about hip width distance apart. They're not super wide. They're nice and parallel to each other. Grab the band and then tie it into a knot around the ankles. Make sure it's nice and firm, that it's not going to flick when we start to use it or break open. And once that's done, let's kick him to the side and we will get started. Yeah? Equal pressure, all 10 toes. Draw the tummy in. Chin falls to chest. Shoulders stoop forward. Let's roll down. Knees are soft. Breath in at the bottom. Breath out. Press through the feet. Scoop the tummy. Roll. Articulate. Restack. Breath in at the top. And again, breath out. Chin to chest. Navel pulls in. Check to see that you are nicely stacked. Feet are level to each other and parallel to each other. Breath out, roll and restack. Knees stay soft. Everything tracks in a straight line. One more here, chin to chest, navel pulls in. Let's roll it down. Breath in at the bottom. Breath out, press through the feet. Scoop the tummy, roll, articulate, restack. Lovely work for me, guys. Let's do same but slightly different. I'm going to be here on the edge of our mat. We've got our walking feet coming our way. When we're ready, chin to chest, navel pulls in. Let's roll and melt down. Just check in and see what you feel. Hands or fingers in contact to the floor. You're going to bend both knees and straighten both legs. Breath in, you bend, lower the bottom. Breath out, you straighten both legs. Breath in. And a breath out. Let's go for 3 more. We bend and press, hopefully finding a stretch through the calves, possibly hamstrings, glutes, maybe lower back. Last one here. Lovely, soften both knees, scoop the tummy, roll it back up. Same but different for me, guys. Shoulders melt, navel pulls in, let's roll it down. Hands or fingers in contact with the floor again. Left leg presses back and then a bend. Right leg presses back and then again we bend. Alternating left leg, right leg. Heels stay planted into the floor. Hands or fingers stay on the mat. Lovely work for me, guys. You've got 4 more, 2 more each leg. We started with the left leg pressing back, so the last one has to be the right leg. Last one here. Bending both knees, scoop the tummy, roll it back up. We've got 1 more roll down. We're going to roll down and walk out. Draw the tummy in. Let's roll it down. Hands come down to the mat. Soften the knees a little more. 1, 2, 3 steps. You are in your plank. You can stay on the hands and toes. You can stay on the hands, drop down onto the knees. Staying on the knees, you could drop down onto the forearms. You could be by the pool as well. Tummy's lifting in to support that lower back. I don't mind where you are, but I'm coming back up to that high plank position. Let's hold it here for 4 more breaths. Melt the shoulders into your back pocket. Feel a little longer, a little taller. Breath out. Zip up those skinny jeans. Tummy just pulls in a little deeper. Next breath out. Tail feels a little heavier. It pulls to the back of our knees. Keeping the collarbone open. Knees come down to the mat. Push the bottom back to your heels. Enjoy that stretch for me, guys. 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. And scoop the tummy around the spine. Bring yourself back up to your quadruped position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. A little cat-cow, scoop and round. Neutral and beyond. And again, scoop and round. Neutral and beyond. Last one here, your little cat-cow. Scoop the tummy around the spine. Separate those shoulder blades. And bring it back to neutral. Equal pressure through all 4 limbs that are on the floor and straight into your swimming. We go left arm, right leg. They slide out and they lengthen and float. We bring them back down. Little shift of weight. right arm, left leg, slide, lengthen and float. And you bring it back down, alternating left and right. So opposite arm and leg are working together. Breath in and a breath out. Tummy pulls in, tummy pulls deeper. Lovely work for me, guys. You've got 4 more. I don't mind whether it's a breath in or out to float. I like a breath in to float arm and leg, a breath out to bring it back down. Your breathing might be the reverse, and that's okay, as long as we don't hold our breath. Last one here. Left leg, right arm, go long. Keep that position there. Lengthen out that right arm a little further. Could you reach the far wall with those fingers? Could you reach the wall behind you with your toes? Toes are pointed, tummy pulls in. Can you lower the foot down? Bring the left foot back up. Breath in, you lower. Breath out, you float. Continue with your lower lifts. Pelvis stays nice and stable. If there was a drink, there was a glass of champagne on your hips, that champagne would not spill. Cup of coffee on your shoulders wouldn't spill either. Glass of water on the head stays nice and stable. That left elbow is nice and soft. Last one here, you lower and lift. Bring it all back home. Arm and leg come back down to the mat. A little adjustment if you feel you need. Can we go left arm, right leg long? Hold the arm and leg there mid-air. Left arm reaches a little further. Right leg reaches a little further behind. And a breath in, lower that right leg. Breath out, you float. Breath in and out. Tummy pulls in, tummy pulls deeper. Right elbow stays bent, he stays soft. Beautiful work. 5 more here. Breath out to float, in to lower. The out to float just helps contract that glute, gives your back a little more support. Perfect. Keep it moving. Last 2. Last one here. And bring arm and leg back down. Can we flip you guys over? Can we grab your strap? So if you're using the strap, the TheraBand, grab hold, place both legs in. If you're using a belt, buckle it in as small as you can and have it up and over the knees. We are lying on our right hand side. Knees are bent. We start with our elbow clams. It is a favorite. Elbow clams first. Both hands are on the ears, elbows in front of the nose. 3 elbow clams here. A breath in and a breath out. Tummy pulls in. Knees stay anchored on the mat. And again, a breath in. You open knees and hips, push in opposition to the elbow and the head. If you need support for the head, you could roll your mat up, use that as a cushion. You could use a pillow or a towel. Otherwise, head relaxes on the mat. Fingers in front of the chest. Breath in, you press forward. Breath out. Slide the left hand over the right. We open up to the ceiling. Our bow and arrow. Bending the elbow, return the arm back home. Breath in, you press forward. Breath out, you rotate and open. Lovely. Breath in and out, you bring it back home. One more here, pressing forward and opening up. So if you've got shoulder issues here, you stay with either the elbow clam or the bow and arrow. If the shoulders are happy and healthy, rotating the arm around the head, palm faces the ceiling. We go around, up and over the hips. We go again. Breath in, you press forward. Breath out, we rotate the arm, keep the fingers on the floor, come up and over the hips. Last time. Breath in and a breath out. Lovely work for me, guys. Let's just adjust where we are in space. I like to extend my arm. I like my head to relax on the bicep. If that position doesn't work for your shoulders, you could keep that elbow tucked in, or you could have that cushion or towel underneath your head as well. You're long through the torso. That right side on the mat feels lifted. There's just a little house for the mouse, a little tunnel. You might just be able to slide your fingers in underneath. the top rib and hip feel long. So if you're compressed, if you're melting and pressing the right side into the mat, the top side, the left side feels compressed. The tummy switches on, it doesn't support anything. So remember, you want to lengthen that hip away from the ribs. Squeeze those heels together and we open and close. Breath in, you open. Breath out, you close. Breathing normally. Find your own rhythm, your own pace. The emphasis is on the squeeze of those heels for me, guys. Squeeze the heels together and relax. We squeeze and relax. Breath in and out. There are 2 more here. Last one here. Relax. Same, but slightly different, guys. You're floating clams. The heels stay together, but both legs float away from the mat. Heels are pretty much level with our hips, tummies drawing in. Squeeze the heels as you open and close for your second set of clams. So if you don't like to have the heels lifted off the mat for me, guys, you can keep the heels flat on the floor. Not an issue at all. A little harder up here to keep the pelvis nice and stable. Finding a little work through your glutes, hopefully now. Breath in and out. 2 to go. Last one here, you're going to open the clam, keep those legs open. So the knees are splayed apart and that's where they stay. And as you breathe, I really want you to focus on the squeeze of the heels. The more you squeeze those heels together, the more fire you will find in your glutes. We have 4 more breaths. You have 3 more breaths. Left shoulder melts into your back pocket. Tummy stays strong. Last breath in and out. Little pulses to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the legs back down. Should have a little fire, a little warmth in those glutes. Little adjustment, tummies on. That side on the mat stays lifted. Can you open? Can you float that top leg? We circle up and over the hill. Circle that top leg back down and under the bridge. And relax back down. Lovely. We go again. Open the clam. Float the left leg. 2 circles forward, up and over. And again. 2 circles in the reverse. Bring it back down and under. 1 more here. And relax for me, guys. You have 3 and 3. We open. You float. And there are 3 circles. You have 2. Last one here. Reverse your circles for 3. You have 2. Last one. And relax. 2 more rounds for me, guys. We open. We float. There are 4. You have 3. Pelvis stays as still as you can. Resist the temptation to feel that pelvis sort of shuffle forward and back. Reverse those circles. 4, 4. 4, 3. We have 2. Last one. And relax. Last round for me, guys. If you're using a belt or a band, it will be a little more intense. We open. We float. There are 5. You have 4. We have 3. And 2. It's not about how big, it's about how much control you have of those circles. Reverse them again for 5. We have 4. You have 3. There are 2. Last one. And relax. A little tap. 1 more thing with the band, then we'll take the band off. Keep the torso long. Keep the shoulder melting into your back pocket. That left hand can be in front of the tummy just for a bit of support initially. Draw the tummy in. Float the left leg. Lengthen the left leg long. Keep the right leg heavy on the mat. That left hip feels open. I like a flexed foot. You might like a pointed foot. Your choice. But pressing up to the ceiling for 3, 2, 1. Bend the left knee. Have it hovering over the right. 3 pulses again. Up, 2, 3. Relax it down. Perfect. We're going to reverse the movement. That was part A. Part B, we reverse. Float the bent leg. 3 presses. Up, 2, 3. Take the leg long and 3 pulses again. Up, 2, 3. bend the leg and relax. That's one full rotation, 2 more like that. Float and lengthen that top leg, keep it long and pulse, 2, 3, a little bend, and again we pulse, 2, 3, relax. Can you float that top leg and pulse again, 3, 2, 1, take it down long, hip is open, and 3, 2, 1, and a bend. One more round for me, guys. Draw the tummy in, melt the shoulder, we float the left leg, lengthen the left leg long and pulse, 2, 3, and a bend, we pulse, 2, 3, relax, have to finish it off, float the top leg and lift, 2, 3, take it long, and again, pulse, 2, 3, and relax. Should find a little fire within those glutes. One leg is out of the band for me, guys. Legs are long and the toes point towards the front corner of your mat. Side on the mat still feels lifted. Top side feels long. Tummy zipped up. The left hand can be on the thigh. The left hand can be on the floor for support. Your choice. A little bit harder, you're a little more unstable with a hand on your thigh. Squeeze those feet together, keep the feet flexed. And there's a breath out to float, breath in to lower. So the hips pretty much stay in the same spot. You don't want to feel your hips roll forward and back. You definitely don't want to feel that right side melting into the mat. There's always just a little house for the mouse, just a little tunnel. 5 more here. Breath out, you float. Breath in, you lower. And the legs feel like they could pull out of the hips as they lift. Not an issue how high you float those legs, as long as they work together. Last 2. Last one here, we're going to float and keep them there. The left one's going to hang where he is. He is not going to move. Draw the tummy in. Breath in, lower the right leg. Breath out, bring it back up. Breath in and a breath out. So the left leg feels long, like it could lift to reach the far wall. Right leg lowers and lifts. Resist the temptation for the ankle to do the work. It is the inner thigh that pulls that leg up. Let's call that 5. We've got 5 more. You have 4. There are 3. Last 2. 1 more here. Lovely. Keep the legs together. Float them a little longer out of the hips. Now, if you need a rest at any time, if you need to regress the exercise, rest the legs down onto the mat. Takes the pressure out of the glutes and the outer thigh. Gives that tummy a little bit of rest as well. But my preference, if we can, would be to keep those legs floating. Super glue those legs together. The left hand that might be resting on your thigh now is going to point straight up to the ceiling. Melt your shoulder into your back pocket. Keep the torso nice and stable. A breath in. Can you float that left hand down? Touch the floor in front of the chest. A breath out. Float the left hand back up. Don't let it disappear out of your peripheral vision, guys. Breath in, you lower the left hand down. Breath out, you float that left hand up. And again, breath in, float that left hand down. And a breath out, he floats back up. 2 more, and then we go same, but different. Remember, if you need to regress, if you need a little reprieve, relax the feet onto the mat. Breath in, you lower. Breath out, you float. Exactly the same, nothing changes. Just close your eyes. Breath in, you lower. Breath out, you float. So here in closing the eyes, you take that visual aspect out of the picture. Makes you a little more aware sometimes as to where the body is and what has to work to keep you stable. Last 2, breath in, you lower. Breath out, you float. 1 more here, we lower. Float that left hand up towards the ceiling and open the eyes, relax the legs, a little bend, a little tap. How are we feeling, guys? We work through those glutes. We have a little side plank coming our way. So that band, that belt might still be on one leg. We'll use him again in a minute. side planking for me, guys. Elbow, the right elbow is under the shoulder. You don't want the elbow too far away from you. You don't want it too far under you either. You need to find that happy medium. So another thing to be mindful of is you don't want to sink into the shoulder. Always pressing through the shoulder, down through the right arm into the elbow. Hand could be like it's holding a hammer. Hand can be flat on the floor. So find the length through the spine. Find the lift and gather through the right side that was just on the mat. That little house with the mouse feeling needs to work a little harder. Remember, you don't want to sink into the shoulder. Keep the torso nice and long. As you breathe in, could you lift the hips away from the mat? Breath in and out. Hold it here. So if you're feeling a little funky through the neck, you could look down to the elbow. Takes all the pressure out of the neck and shoulder. If you look straight ahead, it's a little more challenging. If you look up to the ceiling again, it's a little more challenging again. If possible, could you float that left hand? He points straight up to the ceiling. Keep the side on the mat. The right side still pulls up. The navel pulls in deep. Could you possibly float that left leg out? Toe pointed, toe flexed, your choice. Can you float the left leg a little star moment? And let's hold for 4. Let's hold for 3. Let's hold for 2. Last breath in. And as you breathe out, come down, have a rest. Really nice for me, guys. Felt okay? Same, but slightly different. So you can keep everything the same. You can stay on the knees, yeah? Otherwise, to increase the workload, to make it a little harder, let's lengthen the legs out long. The left leg, the top leg is in front of the bottom leg. You've got a heel to toe scenario happening. Again, you don't want to sink into the shoulder. It is a little harder because you're holding more of your body weight here. Draw the tummy in. Stay lifted through the right side. Feel comfortable with that right elbow on the mat. A breath in, you float. Breath in and out. Yeah, so remember, if you need to, you can look down to the mat. If you're happy to, you could look straight ahead. If you'd like to, you could look to the ceiling. Don't mind where you are, but could that left arm reach up again? Draw the tummy in. And if the answer is no, don't force the issue. But if the answer is yes, could you float that top leg? Hold it here. Let's hold for 4. Let's hold for 3. Let's hold for 2. Last breath in and out. Come on down. Have a rest. So a bit of support work through the arm needs to work. All the muscles in and around the shoulder need to work is what I'm trying to say. Let's pop both legs back into the band. Let's give you a stretch. And then let's get into those glutes. So let me just fix this band. So the one thing that happens with the TheraBand is it bunches up and it rolls down a little. Just tends to be a little more uncomfortable when that happens. So knees are bent, one leg on top of the other. Band is over the knees or the belt is over the knees, ankle on ankle. Both hands are on your ears. You are on your left-hand side. There's a breath in as you open and a breath out, you close. Breath in, you open, and a breath out, you close. One more here, knees and hips push in opposition to the elbow and the head. Bring it back. Remember, if you need a cushion, if you need a little support, roll the mat up. Otherwise, a towel or a cushion under the head. Both hands are stacked and in front of the torso. Breath in, you press forward. Breath out, you open like a book. Breath in and out, you bring it back home. Shoulders melt, sliding the right hand over the left as you rotate to look behind you. Knees and hips always push in the opposite direction. So you don't want your knees to lift away from the floor and you don't want your knees to splay apart. Lovely work for me, guys. Pressing forward, fingers stay on the mat, rotate around the torso. Palm faces the ceiling. We go all the way up and over your hips. 2 more circles, guys. We know if we have shoulder issues, we don't go to the circles because the shoulders don't necessarily like this movement then. But if your shoulders are happy and healthy, we are good to go. Beautiful. up and over, a little adjustment. We all know I like to extend that bottom arm. Caught in my little microphone, give me a tick. Alrighty, we are good. Or left side on the mat stays lifted, shoulders stays relaxed, top side feels long. So you don't want to compress into the mat. You want to feel lifted out of the hips. Squeeze those heels together and we open and close your plank. There's a breath in and out. Tummy pulls in, tummy pulls deep. Breath in and out. Beautiful work for me, guys. 5 more. You have 4. We have 3. There are 2. Last 1. Relax the legs down. Float the heels away from the mat for your floating clams. Again, if you don't like this position, keep the feet relaxed on the mat. But when you're ready, we open and close. Breath in and out. And the emphasis, just like before, is on the squeeze of the heels. It's not about how wide we can open the clam. The movement will happen if the strength is there, yeah? So the stronger your glutes are, the wider you can open up those knees or pull the knees apart while not allowing those hips to change where they are in space. So less is more sometimes, yeah? Build the strength well. Open that clam. That was your last one. Hold it there and breathe. So remember, it's about the squeeze of the heels to find the work of the glutes. Tummy zips up, shoulder melts, and just breathe. We hold for 4. You hold for 3. Last 2 breaths. Last breath in. And as you breathe out, you relax back to the mat. A little adjustment if you need. Side on the mat's lifted. Can you open? Can you float? There's 1 circle up and over the hill. Reverse the circle back down and under the bridge. Relax the leg down. We go 2 each way. We open. We float. There are 2. And 1. Reverse your circles for 2. And 1. Relax it back down. Let's go again. We open. We float. There are 3. There are 2. And 1. Reverse your circles for 3, for 2, and 1. Relax. We go again. We open. We float. There are 4, 3, 2. Let's reverse your circles again for 4, for 3. The reverse always get me for 2, and 1. Relax. Last round for me, guys. 5 each way. Can you open? Can you float? 5 circles. And 4. 3 to go. 2. And 1. Reverse your circles. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. And a break. A little tap. A little love for those glutes if they need. Again, a little adjustment through the torso if you feel like you've changed position. Side on the mat stays lifted. Can you keep that right hand in front of the tummy for support? Or if you like, you can have the right hand on top of the thigh. But can you open? Can you float? Can you lengthen the right leg out long? Left leg stays bent and on the mat. 3 pulses here. We go up, 2, 3. We bend that right knee. And again, 3 pulses up, 2, 3. Relax. Remember, that was part A. Part B, we reverse what we just did. Leg stays bent, you float. There are 3, 2, 1. Take it out long. And again, 3, 2, 1. And a bend. 1 full rotation done. 2 more to go. We float. We lengthen the right leg. Keep the tummy on strong and up. 2, 3. A bend. Float the right knee over the left and 3, 2, 1. Little pulses. Relax. We go again. Float the bent leg. 1, 2, 3. Extend it out long under the body. And again, 3, 2, 1. We bend. Relax. 1 more full round. We float. We lengthen. And 1, 2, 3. Little pulses. We bend. And 1, 2, 3. Little pulses. Relax. Last round. Float the top leg and push. 2, 3, extend it out long, and again push, 2, 3, and relax. A little bend, a little tap. Lovely work for me, guys. You can take the band off. We don't need him anymore for today. Just throw him out of the picture. Legs are long. We are nicely stacked. One leg on top of the other, and the toes point down to the front corner of your mat. That side on the mat stays lifted. The torso stays long. Right hand can be in front of the chest for support, or on the thighs if you'd like a little more challenge. Regardless where the hand is, the tummy's switched on, the shoulders are melting, and the legs are super glued together. Breath out and a breath in. Breath out and a breath in. So you want to make sure the distance between the ribs and the hips don't shorten too much. At the same time, you want to make sure that left side on the floor stays lifted. You don't want to melt into the floor, because that then just encourages instability. We don't want instability in our pelvis. We've got 3 more. You have 2. Last one, we float, hold the legs there. Draw the tummy in, keep the right leg where it is, melt the shoulders into your back pocket, lower the left leg, and bring it back up. Breath in, you lower, breath out, you float. So the left leg only lowers and lifts. Remember, resist the temptation for just the ankle to do the work. It is the inner thighs that want to draw that leg up towards the ceiling. There are 4. There are 3. You have 2. Last one here. Keep the legs together, super glue them together again. Remember, if you need a little rest, if you need a little reprieve, relax both legs onto the mat. Makes it easier for the tummy to support where you are. But the preference would be to keep those legs floating. The right hand, regardless where it is now going to float up towards the ceiling. Fingers point straight up. That right shoulder melts away from the ear. And a breath in, we lower the right hand down to the mat in front of your chest. And a breath out, you bring it back up to the ceiling. Don't lose it from your peripheral vision. Breath in, you lower down. And a breath out, you float it back up. Tummy pulls in. Tummy pulls a little deeper. Beautiful work. 2 more like this, and then we're going to close the eyes. Remember, taking the visual perspective out of it makes balance a little harder, gets you in tune with what's happening in the body a little more. Keep the pelvis nice and stable. Try not to roll forward and back. But closing your eyes, there's a breath in. You lower that right arm down. Breath out, you bring it back up. So you don't want to go past the midline. You don't want that right hand to pull you off kilter. So don't let it go too far behind the body, because then it might feed into the lower back, which is not what we're looking for. 3 to go. Legs are floating if we can. Breath in, you lower. Breath out, you float. 1 more coming our way. We lower that right hand down. Tap the floor. Lift the right hand up. And as you open the eyes, we lower the legs and the arm, a bend and a tap into those glutes. Our side planks are coming our way for me, guys. So now the elbow is under the shoulder. Keep that side nice and long. Remember, you don't want to sink into the shoulder. Hand is flat on the floor or like you're holding a hammer. Knees are bent for the first round. The side on the mat, that left side feels lifted. Shoulder melts. Keep the torso long. On a breath in, you're going to lift up onto the knees. Remember, if you need, you look down to the elbows. If you're happy to, you could look straight ahead. If you need a little more challenge, look up to the ceiling. Regardless where you're looking, can you float the right arm up to the ceiling? Melt the shoulders into your back pocket. Could you float the right leg? Little star moment. And hold it here for 4. Hold it here for 3. Hold it here for 2. 1 more breath in. And as you breathe out, bring yourself down. have a little rest. So remember, we did 2 rounds on the first side. We do the same here again. So if you'd like, you can keep everything the same. If you need a little more challenge, we're going to take both legs long. This time the right leg, the top leg, is in front of the bottom leg. Heel to toe again. Make yourself comfy. Don't sink into the shoulder here on the left. Stay lifted out of the shoulder. So draw the tummy in. Let me just say, this is my weaker side. This is my dodgy knee. So when I go to float the leg, I'm just going to put my knee down because otherwise my knee won't support the movement. But you don't need to float the leg if you don't want to, yeah? Press down into the elbow. Draw the tummy in. A breath in, you float. Remember, if you need to, you look down to the elbow. If you'd like to, you look straight ahead. Looking to the ceiling is a little more intense. Regardless where you're looking, can you float that right arm up? So I'm going to bring that left leg down because I won't support the movement, but you could keep up on both toes, or you could just come to where I am and hold this position for 4. Hold this position for 3. That right leg is lifted and we're holding for 2 more breaths. Last breath in, and as you breathe out, bring it back down. A lot more intense on the toes than it is the knees. And one side is always a little easier than the other, yeah, regardless whether there are issues or not. Alrighty, we are lying on our backs. Neutral pelvis, navel pulls in. Plant the feet on the floor. Hands are interlaced and behind your head. Starting off nice and easy. Breath out, we're going to lift. Breath in, you're going to lower. There's a breath out and a breath in. Tummy pulls in, tummy pulls deeper. And again, so we've got 3 rounds, and on each round here, we are going to up the ante. So each time we'll make it a little harder. Remember, you don't need to make the exercises harder if you're happy with where we are. If you need a rest, you take that rest, guys. There's no pain, no discomfort through the lower back. Last little chest lift here, lifting head and shoulders. A little adjustment if you need. You want to feel like you're right up on the base of your shoulder blades. Hands can stay behind the head, or hands could reach out in front. Fingers are interlaced. A little crisscross action for me, guys. A breath out, could you rotate to the right? Breath in, back to center. Breath out, you rotate left. Breath in, back to center. Continue to alternate. A little twist, more so than a lean. Think armpit reaches up and over to the hip. Breath out. Breath in. Remember, hands could be behind the head as well. We've got 2 more each way. There's a breath out and a breath in. Last one to the left. Last one to the right. And bring the head and shoulders back down. Have a little rest. So, let me just fix my pants. I do apologize. Alrighty. Neutral pelvis. You can keep everything the same. You do not need to change what you just did. Or you can up the ante a little, keeping that neutral pelvis. Float your legs to tabletop. Hands behind the head again, interlace those fingers, supporting the neck. A breath out, we lift head and shoulders. Breath in, you lower back down. Breath out, you lift your chest lift. Breath in, bring it back down. So keeping the neck in the same position in relation to the upper back. So we're not saying CCs. You're not nodding your head. You're lifting the torso as best you can. Knees would love to stay over the hips. So the knees aren't drawing in closer at all. Breath out and in. Breath out and in. One more here. Lift head and shoulders, hold it there. So again, arms could reach out long and be reaching up and over the knees. A breath out, we rotate to the left. Breath in, back to center. Breath out, we rotate right. Breath in, back to center. So reaching up and over with the extended arms. Thinking about the armpit pulling in towards the opposite hip. Yep. Otherwise, hands behind the head. We will rotate to the right. We will rotate to the left. We've got 2 more each side again. Left and right. 1 more each way. Back to the middle and rotate. Lovely. Bring the knees in, have a little rest. You might like a couple rolls to the left with the pelvis, a couple rolls to the right. So 2 options to already pick from. You can have the legs on the floor. You can have the legs in tabletop. Head and shoulders are going to lift. Option 3, the last round here for your tummy. Suction cup the legs together. Breath in, lengthen both legs out long. Breath out, bring the knees back home. Chest stays high. Breath in, lengthen the legs long. Breath out, zip up your skinny jeans, bring the legs back in. Breath in, you extend. Breath out, you bring it home. A little more challenge if you feel you need. Could you dip the feet, lower the legs as you extend, and bring them back home? There's a breath in, dip the feet, lengthen the legs. Breath out, bring it back home. 5 more here. Really challenge, dip those feet, lengthen the legs out, draw the tummy in, bring the legs back home. The more challenge will occur, the lower the legs go, provided the tummy's able to support the movement. And a little challenge is good, but listen to your body for me, guys. Breath out, you bring it home. 2 more. Breath in. Lengthen out long. Breath out, you bring it home. 1 more here. Breath in. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Breath out, you bring it back. A little crisscross. Can you keep the left knee there? Can you lengthen the right leg out long and bring the elbow to knee? Breath out and a breath in. Just the one side. Breath out and in. Keep the pelvis nice and stable as you rotate to go elbow to knee. 5 more. We have 4. There are 3. Last 2. 1 more here. Bring everything back to the center. A rest if you feel you need. Otherwise, hands still behind the head. Lengthen out that left leg. And you cut the left elbow across to the right knee. Breath out, you rotate. Breath in, you bring it back. Elbow to knee. Or armpit to hip. Regardless what you think of, I need that pelvis to stay as stable and as still as you can. So for me here, this is the dodgy side. And again, breath out, breath in, breath out, and in. 2 more. Breath out, and in. 1 more here. Bring the legs in. Lovely work. Have a break. Couple rolls to the right. Couple rolls to the left. Lever yourself up when you're ready for me, guys. A little spine stretch for me here. Feet are long in front of the torso, toes point up, legs are just as wide as your hips. Arms point forward, sitting up nice and tall. So if you find it really hard to sit out of the hips, you're a little slumped, you could grab a book, sit on a book on your towel, or again, you could roll up your mat, and sitting on the mat just takes that pressure off the hamstrings, helps you sit long out of the hips. So your choice where you are, depending on what you need. Arms are long, shoulders melt, toes point to the ceiling. Chin falls to chest as you breathe in, and a breath out, you reach forward for your toe. There's a breath in, roll all the way back up. We sit tall. Go again, chin to chest, navel pulls in, a breath out, reach it forward. A breath in, draw the tummy in, roll and restack. 1 more here, chin to chest, navel pulls in, reaching forward. Breath in and out, bring it all the way back up. Hands behind your hips, knees are bent and feet flat on the floor. Breathing in, open the chest, lift the ribs, lift the bottom, squeeze the glutes. Breath in and a breath out, bring it back down. A little reverse plank moment, yeah? So breath in, open up the ribs, lift the chest, lift the bottom, squeeze the glutes, push the hips up, and bring it back down. Equal pressure through all 10 toes. Try not to let the toes lift. So pressing through the toes and the heels, draw the tummy in, open through the chest, squeeze the glutes. We lift those hips and bring it back down. Bring the legs long in front, back to our spine stretch, toes point up to the ceiling, arms are long, chin to chest, navel pulls in, reaching forward. Breath in and a breath out. Sit up tall. Breath in and a breath out, reach forward. Hold it this time as you breathe in and a breath out. Roll all the way back up to sitting tall. Finding a stretch under the legs, I hope, yeah? Chin to chest, navel pulls in, a breath out, you reach forward. Hold it there and a breath out. You roll it back up. One more time for our little reverse plank action, guys. You can be with your knees bent where we just were, or you could lengthen both legs out long. Fingers point towards your bottom. Hands are flat on the floor behind you. As you breathe in, lift the chest, lift the hips, squeeze the glutes. Lift, 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 and bring it back down. Again, 2 more. Lifting. Like that breath in inflates the lungs, and that inflating feeling just gets those hips to float. Bring it back down. 1 more here. Breath in, fill the lungs, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips, lengthen the spine, and bring it back down. Let's flip it over for me, guys. Really nice work for us today. A little thread the needle to finish with, yeah? Back in our quadruped position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Right hand is behind the right ear. Breath in, bring the right elbow down, tap the left knee. Breath out, follow that elbow to the ceiling. Breath in, right elbow comes down, tap the left knee. Breath out, follow that right elbow to look to the ceiling. 1 more here, breath in, elbow to knee. Breath out, follow that elbow to the ceiling. Let go of the head, thread the right hand under the left, thread the needle, shoulder and head come to the mat, bottom goes up to the ceiling. Breath in and out, follow the right arm to the ceiling. Thread it through. You might feel like you get a little more rotation with the long arm, but it is a true rotation with a bent arm. 1 more here, breath in and out. Reach for the far wall behind you. Breath in and out. Reach for the ceiling. Last one here for me, guys. Place the right hand back down on the mat. Same on the other side. A little adjustment if you need. Left hand behind your ear. Can the elbow come down? Tap the right knee. Can you follow the left elbow up to the ceiling? Breath in, breath out, elbow to opposite knee. Breath in and out, elbow to the ceiling. 1 more here. A little rotation, easy down here. And lengthen and reach. Let go of the ear, left hand slides under the right. Head comes down, bottom goes up. Press through the right hand. Follow the left hand up to the ceiling. Breath in and out. Thread it through. Breath in and out. Up to the ceiling. 1 more here. Thread the arms through. Follow it all the way up to the ceiling. And bring it down for me, guys. We are done for today. I hope you enjoyed using the TheraBand. Made you work a little harder, hopefully, through the glutes. Look forward to seeing you all again next week. Bye for now.